Welcome to the Mindshock podcast, True Crime Edition. This is another episode of Maura Murray. In the previous episode, we discussed James Renner's theories and the possibility that Maura is still alive, sightings both before and after the accident, as well as strange phone calls. One revelation is the 3 to 4 minute phone call that Billy made. Did Maura call him or did he call her?
No, he called her. And this is Rook Davis.
I am Bruce McGuire.
And Maxwell Powers.
So, yeah, wait, what'd you say he called her?
Yeah, he called her.
We
don't know who picked up the phone.
And then he went dark for 4 days.
Yeah, after talking for 4 minutes.
So that's big.
That is
But
huge.
there's an even bigger bombshell.
Oh,
The
shit.
smoking gun.
Oh, shit.
The possible smoking gun of the entire case. And it's big.
Why was the rag in the tailpipe?
It was real big. We'll go into that on the show.
No, I'm teasing.
But before we get to that, I mentioned briefly of if Sarah and Kate weren't really Maura's friends, or maybe they were really good friends and they had a falling out over something at the night of the party, and that led to other events.
You know what
that
I'm
could
gonna
have
say,
also
though?
contributed to the stress Maura was like. She wrecked her father's car. All this stuff with Billy, and then there was a problem at the party, and now her friends turned on her. Like that's bad. Let's examine the accident site again. So Cecil Smith stated that the car hit a tree, and the Westmans said they heard a acceleration in the thud, no tree crash.
And then the police said that it hit something like 16 inches off the ground, which would be a bumper.
No, that wasn't the police. That was the
bumper?
reconstruction.
The bumper. Oh, for
the team.
All right, yeah, they said that the bumper was damaged from hitting another bumper.
And the PIs corroborated that there was no tree hit.
Yeah.
And yet, like the blue ribbon at the accident site, I think that was placed by Fred, was placed on even the wrong tree that was alleged. But supposedly, I think it was Cecil who told him it was that tree, even though he didn't even write that was the tree in the accident report. So is ineptitude to blame? And he was the military intelligence officer whose father lived nearby, who claimed he got lost on the way to the accident scene.
Wait, who's Cecil's?
Yes, Cecil's father lives in that area,
Oh,
and he was a military intelligence officer that claimed he got lost on the way to the scene, where his father lives.
Well, it's because they gave him the wrong directions when the cover up.
Okay, so here's the thing.
See, wait, hold on. See, just like the Nixon investigation in Watergate, it's never the crime; it's always the cover up that causes the problems.
Well, let's look at the accident. Some people are suggesting that she might have hit a deer, and the deer ran off.
Okay.
So the hit wasn't severe enough to leave major blood. Well, actually, we don't know since the photos have never been released.
Yeah, we don't know what it looks like.
We don't really know. We do know that the deer could not. Well,
they would have found the deer in the search
right.
though if it was hit bad enough.
Right. So the deer could have just ran off.
Yeah.
So
if it was just a light.
Here's the thing. So the road was dry. So people are saying that it's to the accident scene. The accident site was 125 yards beyond the curve. So the curve itself could not have been the cause of the accident because she spun into the opposite lane way too far after the curve. So she must have successfully negotiated that curve. And once again, the road was dry. There was snow on the outside of the road, but not the road itself. And so another possibility is that she was veering away from a vehicle in the other lane.
Like the drunk police officer.
Or whoever.
Well, yeah, but there was definitely a problem with him because the reinforcements came and switched vehicles, right? Supposedly.
At the other location.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, at the other location.
Not the real location.
So, private investigators, one of them, Frank Kelly, a lot of this information is coming from him. He examined all of the trees along the road, like every single tree for damage. He did not find damage on any of the trees lining. So to cause that kind of damage, there would have to be something evidenced on the tree. And like he's saying that they were all perfect. And he concluded definitively that the Saturn did not hit a tree. But the police are insisting that it did, which is kind of strange. Like they could have just said it hit a snowbank, right?
Yeah,
Why does it have to be a tree? And there's snow surrounding the tree too.
Yeah.
So it's strange. Another theory, if you can wrap your mind around this, what if she had a passenger and there was some kind of situation in the vehicle that led to the accident? Either the passenger attacking her or some other weird situation. Or if she also had someone in the back seat.
It's so hard because there's so.
And here's how to prove this.
All right.
There would be residue on the airbags. Because on that Saturn, whenever the airbag deploys, both the passenger and driver side airbag goes off. So if they tested the airbags, which they probably did, they would know whether or not there was a passenger. Also, the spider crack on the windshield most likely came from inside, and I think one of the PIs thinks that it was caused by a wristwatch, the way that it spider cracked, because there was no blood.
Okay.
So if somebody's arm was like flailing, a wristwatch
After their
crack.
face hits the airbag. Yeah, but it.
Other people speculate that the airbags were already down, so the airbags went off at a different site, and they were actually either cut out or whatever. There's a lot of speculation, because we don't know because the photos have never been released from the night of. Are you ready for the big bombshell?
Let me just ask one question. Is the fake site after what we think the original site is?
Yeah, remember there was that scanner call.
Yeah, but I mean...
oh, no, you mean...
the night of where the police said that she hit the tree.
Oh, no, I believe the spot that they say she hit the tree is 124 yards down the road.
Down the road. So she might have hit a deer 124 yards earlier.
After the curve.
After the
curve.
Right.
So I think
that's what I'm saying. So
there is
the police said it happened here, and it really happened here?
No.
Or...
There's agreement where it happened.
Okay.
The police say it happened 124 yards beyond the curve.
Okay.
So the blue ribbon is not... That's where Cecil told Fred that particular day. But in the police report and all the official statements, it's 120 whatever yards.
And that's the correct... And that would be the correct place.
Yeah, that's where everybody agrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Roughly. Some people think she turns around slightly, but it's still way beyond the curve, where the curve was probably not the cause of the accident.
Yeah. Okay,
and all the people that went to the physical site agree.
Yep.
Okay. So are you ready?
Yes.
I don't think you're ready.
All right.
Maxwell's not ready. He's not ready. He's been following this case so close it's going to blow his mind.
Oh, man.
Okay, so this is from the PI. On an old forum, and this is verified to be the PI revealing this information. I believe this info to be true. It was gained during interviews with locals and residents of Bradley Hill Road, so that's right next to the accident. It's a little ways next to the accident site. And someone stated having seen a vehicle parked beside the road with the driver out of the vehicle. The person interviewed, they stated they called law enforcement in reference to a suspicious red truck parked beside Bradley Hill Road. So if this is part of the police call log, this could be the deleted section that was removed because it's in that time frame. Mm-hmm. And this was before the witness of the red truck at the Swiftwater stage shop. Now here's the other thing. This was only known to locals. Red trucks were being stopped all through the night and up to that morning.
So they were looking for
unofficially. So all the locals knew this.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for the driver of the red truck.
Shit.
And so, once again, this was before anything was known about the red truck sighting. Okay. Now, here's what else is weird. The PI said he's wondering... this testimony came about the red truck looking for Maura, and then when it saw that person was with the Massachusetts plates. This witness only came forward after she moved out of the area.
Mm-hmm.
Strange indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Strange indeed. And if that's a Massachusetts plate, why would she be... Unless the police were involved. Or something other shady's going on. And this was also before they named Monahan. So in the early days, I don't think they even had a name on Monahan. Because he hadn't officially signed off. Mm-hmm. So it was just the mysterious state trooper.
Yeah.
Because we're coming into this after the Oxygen series and all this is known. But at the beginning, none of this was known. It was even more mysterious. Okay. So here are the theories on the red truck. If the person in the red truck was just, the local dirtbag that Fred alludes to, mm-hmm. he could have been just cruising. And if he saw... Okay, so when he was at the shop at the Stage Shop store and the red truck was in the parking lot watching her. She entered the store, talked to the owner, and she was talking to them for like a half an hour to 40 minutes. And the driver of the red truck was in the parking lot and never entered the store. So that's strange as well, right? Why is he just sitting there?
Stalker.
That's weird. And then so the driver leaves and goes toward the Weathern barn. And it's also possible the red truck, they were waiting for her to exit the store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, same thing, stalker.
Okay, so here's another theory. If Butch saw the red truck and what happened, and if Butch saw it, he could have told the police about it, and they could have told him not to tell anybody about it, and that could have been his shifty responses. Right?
Yeah.
Just another theory. Also, supposedly Butch sold his house and moved to Florida because his mother wanted that.
Uh-huh.
But then someone reported his mother actually moved back to the Massachusetts, New Hampshire area, but he didn't. Him and his
Because he got
wife.
the hell out of Dodge.
But it was many years later, though. He stayed for years and years and years. Supposedly, he just got annoyed with all the.
Well, yeah, but years and years and years. It hasn't been that many years, so.
No, it was like 10. I think it took like 8.
Yeah, but 8 isn't
10,
that
Might
long.
have been 10. I don't know.
All right.
9, 10, 11 years. That's kind of a long time. Other residents left that week.
The guy with the red truck left and never came back that night.
So, what do you think?
Not as mind shocked as I thought I was gonna be, but
So we're stopping red trucks all night.
yeah, because they were
All
looking.
night.
They were looking for.
Yeah,
Now-
but here's the problem. If they thought it was a random DUI, no need to worry. The driver's coming back the next day. Why are they stopping trucks all night?
Well, they're stopping red trucks all night because she's probably in the red. She left with whoever was in the red truck, or whoever's in the red truck kidnapped her, or
But then why are they saying it's a DUI?
with yeah, but they have a cover story and then they have what they're really doing.
Or did she swerve, like you said, did she swerve to avoid the police and they wanted to... Because
Well, either way, they. All right. So let's run through it. So if the policeman hit her and she's trying to get away and the red truck picks her up, they're gonna want the red truck because she's fleeing the scene. Whatever it is, they're gonna say fleeing the scene. If the red truck was a witness, they're gonna say.
why
fleeing
did
the
they
scene.
never release the info of the red truck? Because normally when there's any kind of kidnapping, they always release the video. Be on the like the red
Yeah,
truck,
be on the lookout,
Massachusetts
yeah.
place. Report it to police. Like they even have
ATV, all
like
points forward.
yes. And that was just
ATV
dead.
on the red
'cause
truck.
this information is all local info. This has never been released, and only the local residents know that they were stopping red trucks all night.
Well, yeah, but that would make sense too because think about it. They're not going to release the information because they don't want the guy in the red truck to know.
They're looking for
And
him.
so it's not going to be an all points bulletin. They're going to just tell their own cops, see if you can stop a red
So they
truck.
missed the radius, and or did they find the red truck?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
let's keep.
Is the red
Let's
truck
let me.
parked
There's
in the
more.
garage in front of the bus.
So they actually it's about a half
Or
a
is
mile.
it DWBs?
It was-
Devil worshipping bastards.
It was a half a mile. It was a half a mile up from the accident site. It wasn't that close.
Mm-hmm.
Half a mile, and they spotted the driver out of the vehicle in the woods. So here's another theory: if Maura was picked up by the red truck, and more like by just a driver, or maybe it was someone she knew, but then something went bad, and she felt she was in danger, or whatever, and she said, "Hold on, pull over." Or whatever, I need to go to the bathroom or throw up or I feel whatever it was. Driver pulls over, she jumps and runs out, and then he goes looking for her. Maybe he doesn't find her, and then she finds her way to the lost campground.
Oh, jeez. Well, then she wouldn't have to run.
What do you mean?
She wouldn't have had to run all the way there. She could have been in the red truck for some of that trip.
I believe Bradley Hill isn't that far. It's a half a mile, so
Oh, it's only a half
it
mile.
would it's somewhere like there. So it's almost nothing.
Oh, right.
So here's the other thing. There was another witness who was walking her dog. I think we mentioned this. The dog was like growling and whatever
Mm-hmm.
up Bradley Hill Road. So she got spooked and decided not to continue.
Mm.
And she went back home. And then also the Marats, the ones that said they saw the Westmans out, they said that there were snow tracks behind his property. And that goes to Bradley Hill Road.
Yeah, okay.
So there were conflicting reports, but there were he said there were tracks.
Well, yeah, but and you told us last time before we knew about the red truck that there were tracks behind the house or whatever.
So that was a sticking point.
Shit.
So Maura, if the red truck, now again, Tim Carpenter, her sister Kathleen's boyfriend, owned a red truck, and there's an interesting tidbit with that I'll get to. So, if someone saw the red truck and it was that suspicious that they called the police, shouldn't they have been searching that area? But apparently they never searched Bradley Hill Road. They all went west. Unless someone saw the car. What if someone saw the red truck go that direction? Then they would be going west.
Well, it's rough because generally people run in the direction they're pointed to. So like if someone said, "Oh, I saw her run in that direction," they would all search in that direction. But could she have gone in that direction and then doubled back and ran through the backyard and got to Bradley Hill Road?
Yeah.
I mean, she could have gone that way, went around, and then went across.
Yes.
Because if we go back, what was it, 3 Maura Murrays ago or 2, where if she had an interaction with the authorities, and the cop was kind of drunk, and his car was a little messed up, and she ran, and then when they came to him, he's like, "Yeah, she went that way." They would all run that way, and that would have given her enough time to double back and then get in a red truck.
Well, the other thing, what if the red truck was the car that she swerved not to hit, or they clipped each other, or there was some kind of an accident, and Maura just kept going, and the red truck was trying to find her, and that's why she was accelerating, and then something else happened. Like there's a whole bunch of ways this can go.
Oh yeah.
If the red truck, if there was an altercation with the red truck, she's gonna hit and run, and then the drunk police guys come, and then she swerves out of the way. That ties them both together.
Yeah. Or what if the red truck is her friends that were following her?
Or towing her, because there was that damage, like as if from a tow hitch on the bumper.
And then the cop hit both. And that's why, and then she got out and ran to the west, and the red truck drove to Bradley Hill Road, and when the cop's friends came, he said she ran that way, and then they all went that way, she doubled around.
Well, here's another thing, if the red truck driver is not a bad guy, he's a good guy.
Well, that's what I say, what if he was towing her or
and what if her? And what if the police stopped him and he told the police about Maura, and that's how they knew who she was and who the driver was, and that's why they ran up to the Westman saying, "Where's the girl?" Because the red truck, they had already spoken to the red truck driver.
Well, yeah, but if the cop had already talked to her, and I mean, either way, I mean, chicken or the egg. So like, if she ran from the cop and then the red truck came and said, "I'm supposed to meet my, our friend here," and they're like, "Oh, she went," and then they're like, "Wait, we need questioning," and then they left. You'd be looking for the red truck and the girl.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Are you ready for more?
Yes.
All right, so remember that night there was a whole bunch of suicide calls, which are all highly suspicious and never been corroborated?
Almost like to pull the authorities away from searching for the girl or the red truck.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, just real quick to finish up with the red truck. If they did find the red truck...
it's parked in front of Butch Atwood's van. They hit it.
And but let's say they searched the red truck, they DNA sampled it, they got all that. There's no trace of Maura. They closed that end, right? Because it's the wrong red, or maybe it was.
They're not going to DNA search it. They had her car, and they left all her possessions in the car, returned them, and then got them back. Like,
all right. So the night of the accident, Cecil Smith clears the scene and goes towards a teen suicide attempt on Lime Kim Road after 9:30 p.m.
Oh, so there was a real one. Maybe.
Well, this was just in the lot. Someone just called it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you corroborate these things? I don't know. You'd have to interview Cecil about it, right?
Well, I'm just saying the others weren't even looked into, were they?
I believe they're listed as... No, I think they're listed on what it is.
Okay.
Because it doesn't say what happened. He said he heads towards... Then he says, after clearing this call. What does clearing the call mean? Did he actually go there, or did he just say there's nothing here? Was it a fake call? We don't know.
Clearing the call means he
You
just...
just move on.
Yeah.
Either because you did look into it or there was nothing to look into.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just going, moving on.
Yep.
In the official call logs, okay, Cecil quickly checks out a suspicious vehicle in an Agway store parking lot. And this is at 10:41 p.m. Now, it doesn't mention what vehicle it is, whether it's a truck or whatever, but it has Texas license plates. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Okay, John Smith ran info on these plates, and the plates were red flagged, which means law enforcement has to disregard it because it's being used in some other kind of investigation, and they're not supposed to stop it.
So, all right.
So,
well, because the flag...
Cecil got it flagged, so then he just moved on.
Okay.
And there was also mention of, so I think this person was on their cell phone, it stated. There was also a suspicious male in a black jacket listed.
Smoking a cigarette? Was he the one sitting in Maura's car? All right.
And so, now here's where it gets a little weird.
It hasn't stopped being weird.
Billy placed a bunch of calls to Texas. He's in Oklahoma.
That's where the jackal lives.
He's in Oklahoma, but he's calling Texas.
That's where the murderer is that he called to come kill Maura.
And so what is a strange vehicle doing in this small little town with Texas plates? Now, Texas is kind of far from New Hampshire, especially in the winter.
Well, yeah.
If you live in Texas, are you going up to New Hampshire? I don't know.
When did Billy call Texas?
The day before.
Was that when he did all the calls?
Yes,
all the calls was some of them were to Texas. So they had time to get there because it was several days.
Now you want to now you want to get real crazy.
All right.
Lyco Kenny worked at that Agway store.
Who?
Kenny.
Okay.
The guy that shot Bruce McKay. and you want to hear something else interesting?
No.
Kenny participated in the searches for Maura.
Oh shit.
It ties together. I mean, he was sort of local, so...
Yeah.
You know, but he also worked at that particular store. All coincidences, probably.
The only thing that's coincidental about our coincidences is
okay.
Coincidence.
Remember the guy's wife who Billy called in West Point?
That went in.
She came and interviewed people.
Yeah.
Renner got in touch with the guy.
And asked why his wife came?
Not specifically, but he asked him about this.
Yeah.
And here's what this guy had to say. So this this is the fifth in the 50 to 80 phone calls the day before Maura went missing. Billy called this West Point professor.
Okay.
So this is the guy whose wife went to the neighbor's crash site and interviewed them and even took notes. Yeah. So Renner posted on his blog January 15th, 2012. So this is, a number of years ago. Robert McDonald is an associate professor of history at West Point. I reached out to him last week after I found his name in an obscure article about the case. He decided to give a heads up to Billy Rausch before responding. To my surprise, I heard back from him early this morning. Here's what he had to say. Thanks for your patience. I've now heard back from Sharon, and I've spoken to her son, Bill. Neither one objects to me speaking with you. That said, Bill sent me the URL of your blog. Besides thinking that you're mischaracterizing Maura's relationship with her father, a decent, honorable man and a great dad, I'm worried that your investigation has the wrong focus. It's true that no one knows what Maura planned to do the weekend that she disappeared, but it's also true that as soon as she had her accident, her plans changed. What happened next is what we really need to know. Given the evidence that she'd been drinking and driving... What evidence? But anyway, it's understandable.
Alcohol in the car, I guess.
It's under the sealed wine bottles?
Yeah, but didn't they say that they found an open sky, something in the car?
But I don't know how much was left in there.
Yeah, well, that
could have been from
drinking.
At what point?
No, but they're saying given the evidence. They're not saying that the evidence...
It's understandable that she didn't want Butch to call the police or AAA. What happened next is what is unknown and unexplained. The mystery may never be solved, but since you're trying, I want to help you as best as I can. My wife and I knew Maura through Bill. I had him in 2 classes. We got to know him well. Given all the restrictions on cadets, West Point encourages faculty and staff to give them a social outlet by including them in their family activities. Bill was an usher in our wedding and regularly came over for Sunday dinner. When he graduated, his family stayed at our house. We thought that Maura and Bill were a great match. Like Bill, she impressed us. Her personality sparkled. She was smart. Best of all, she was really nice. We were distraught when we heard from Bill that she was missing. He had already flown out from Oklahoma. He actually flew out from Texas for
Okay.
Dallas Fort Worth, but that's because it was cheaper and more direct flight.
All right.
We drove up to the Vermont New Hampshire.
Texas again.
Yes, we drove up to the Vermont New Hampshire border to help in the search.
Oh wait. But wouldn't that be what? So if he suspects that she's missing, he would call Texas and say that he needed some driving and help and rides.
That was the day before she went missing.
Yeah, I know. But if
Yeah.
he suspects that there's a problem,
Once up there, we helped Fred, Maura's brother, and Bill and his parents look for Maura. We searched the woods near the crash site, posted signs locally, and as the days passed in an ever-increasing radius around Haverhill, my wife went to the houses near the crash site asking residents if they'd seen anything. I mean, I guess he doesn't think this is strange in any way, playing private detective. Like, that's sort of, I mean, I don't know.
well, you calling out all the stops. I mean, if
She
you're
got
desperate.
she got weird vibes from the guy who lived in the trailer, or maybe it was just a small house, close to the intersection of Side Road and the main road where Maura crashed her car. I don't have a name and address, but he was an albino, or at least appeared to be, and my wife thought that he was creepy and seemed evasive. They're talking about Rick Forsey, I think.
Is he an albino?
I don't know. I
Is
don't
he
think so.
invasive?
I like albino.
Maybe. Years later, my wife learned from a private investigator hired by the Murrays that this, I think that's John Smith, that this man's ex-wife had accused him of spotting Maura at the gas station down the road, stuffing the rag in her tailpipe, believing that it would cause her car to break down, picking her up at the intersection, this is where the dogs lost the scent, driving her the short distance to his house, and taking her inside to rape her and eventually kill her. His ex-wife supposedly claimed that he dumped her body in a lake. I'm guessing that this already has been looked into, but how well, we're not sure. If our understanding is correct, the police doubted the veracity of the ex-wife, who they thought was merely trying to smear her ex-husband. I hope this helps.
That's a huge bombshell. My mind is shocked.
I'm very happy that Billy gave McDonald permission to share what he knew about
What?
Maura and the search. I hope to hear from Billy himself one day. I'm always willing to share his side of the story. Of course, he knew Maura better than just anybody. And this is James Renner posting.
Okay. So that's the biggest mind shock of all. So
That was actually known. I don't think we mentioned
we didn't talk about but so
And apparently he made jokes at like barbecues saying that he killed Maura Murray.
is he an albino for real?
I don't think so. I think there's a clip of him playing a guitar
Is
in
he just
Alaska.
real
He
pale
moved to
or
Alaska.
something?
Alaska.
Yeah, he got the fuck out of Dodge.
It was a lot later though. It was like way later. And remember, they did search his home when he was moving. As soon as he got off his property, the police pulled him over and searched the trailer.
Yeah,
And they didn't find anything, or at least they said they didn't find anything.
Yeah, but we've already established that the police are super inept. All right, because think about.
But
this
why
for
would
a
they
second.
even search it?
Yeah, well, let's just think because someone reported, because the ex-wife reported. But let's just think for a second. If this is true, so if he did stuff the rag in her car, it broke down, and
That wouldn't happen though. And
Well,
the
we have
rag
to-
has already been explained.
why did the father say that he told her to stuff a rag in her?
Because,
Yeah,
to keep the car from smoking.
Yeah, I know.
But this is before he said that though. So
But
at the
that will
time-
stop it. That will break a car down though.
No, it would shoot out the. They did the test. Remember on the accident?
Yeah. I know. But if you stuff a potato, eventually it stops running. And no air is coming around the potato.
A rag is completely different.
Yeah, I know, because it'll shoot the rag out.
And the rag and
the
Fred
car's
Murray.
already-
Fred Murray confirmed that the rag came from the trunk.
Yeah, because didn't he tell her to do it in order to?
Yes, to keep her
Yeah.
from smoking and not get pulled over.
Yeah.
And then the neighbors confirmed a flurry of activity at the trunk. So apparently,
Yeah, they were looking into
She-
it.
yeah. Well, no. Apparently, when she got into the accident, she went to the trunk and stuffed the rag in. Other people were saying that was a signal of some sort, possibly set up with her father. I don't know. She got away.
Oh my God! This
No.
is.
Anyway, I didn't find that bombshell as much
Yeah,
as the
no,
red truck.
well, not-
They
no,
were
no,
stopping
no.
red trucks all night.
So
They were
yeah,
stopping-
so we knew. So what? That
That's
doesn't help us.
crazy.
Someone
The red truck was involved, obviously.
Yeah, but a wife saying that my husband raped her and killed her. That's a bigger bombshell. But the father
she
said that.
Also
he
notice,
sucked her.
well, again, it depends on how you look at it. Why didn't she say this when she was together with him? She was scared he was going to kill her, and she waited to get away. Or their relationship was good, and he really didn't say that.
Well, I mean, but at least somebody said somebody killed her. I'm tired of people just saying, well,
Well, there was the Conrad fellow who said that someone nearby, like there were the two guys pouring concrete in the middle of the winter.
God.
Or what?
They were
Concrete.
pouring cement
Oh,
or
my
whatever
God.
in the middle of the winter on apparently non-existent construction project.
Yes, I know.
Wait,
They
so
were
what
just
the hell's
randomly
going
pouring cement slabs. Two, not one.
on? So all that joke that you were,
And then there were the two people that I convicted
because I
of
remember you
impersonating a
saying
police
that
officer.
she was buried with some men or something.
Well, yeah, because it's so difficult.
Yeah. And so other people, like with the red truck too, could the red truck have been a police officer? Could he have or if he was a local dirtbag, if he had a police scanner, he would know where they all were, and if they were when they were en route, and he could have avoided them a little bit, especially if he knew the area.
Well,
even though he had Massachusetts plates.
Yeah, but they're so slow the night of. If he was there, like if he was part of, he could have easily outdistanced their perimeter because their perimeter was slow and ineffective.
Yeah.
I mean, the red truck is just one more variable. It's just,
yeah, but I thought the fact that there was actually reported to law enforcement, like it was called in.
Yeah, look for these.
And then removed. Here's the thing: it was removed from the call logs, and Butch Atwood's call that has never been released.
Yeah.
What if that call is him saying a guy in a red? She got into a red truck with a guy, and then they told him not to say that for whatever reason.
Well, but then it goes back. Yeah, but then that goes back to another investigation. Like, why don't they want that known?
Yeah.
You know, either it implicates one of their own, or it's part of a bigger investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. It just never ends. It never ends. It never ends.
And we'll go over one more thing. Monahan's report was made public.
Yeah. And what do you have to say? I don't trust him. And I think he just lies better in his interview because he...
Well, Monahan supposedly searched the back roads.
Yeah, for a little bit and didn't go in the right direction or wide enough, right?
Well, he didn't go east.
It wasn't his jurisdiction.
Nobody went east.
A jurisdiction dilemma.
You guys weren't impressed with the red truck? I thought that was insane.
That wasn't insane. Well, I mean, it just adds another variable. Like, I'm tired of more variables, though. Because, like, next it's going to be like, well, you know, there was another car sighting, and there's too many things now. I mean, well, all right. It's impressive because the cops knew something that they didn't want to tell us, but we already knew that. Maxwell, you got anything over there?
Nothing, man.
I know.
Oh, someone did post an interesting explanation of why Butch parked his bus that way.
Why?
Instead of backing it up and he parked it straight so he can get inside quicker to call 911 right away because he's kind of big.
So he just drove it.
So he just drove as close as possible to the house, which he would never otherwise have to do if he didn't have to call 911. Because he was concerned for his safety. Plausible, right?
Doing paperwork, though, in between his paperwork.
Afterward, that is very strange afterwards, yeah.
Creatures of habits tend to stay in habit.
All right, so here's Monahan's...
his report.
Yep. A lot of it's redacted.
Imagine that.
All right,
they
so...
got everything mentioning the red truck.
Well, it's a short report. So... He's listed as an investigating trooper. On 2904, approximately 1930 hours, I heard Haverhill PD get dispatched to a single motor vehicle collision on Route 112 near the Weathered Barn. Sergeant Cecil Smith responded, I overheard Grafton County Dispatch Relay that the reporting party could see a single female in the driver's seat smoking a cigarette. I responded from Route 302 in Lisbon. So the date of his report is on February 9th.
And he's saying whoever called it in said there's a female smoking a cigarette, so not a second person. So she crashed the car and she's sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Which is not what Westman said or the dispatcher
recorded. They said that somebody else was... A man was sitting in the car.
So he's already trying to spin it, I guess. While en route, I heard Sergeant Smith sign off, and a short time later, Woodville Fire and Rescue. Sergeant Smith reported the female was no longer with the vehicle. Responding units began to look for a female on foot. I traveled Route 302 to Route 112. When I reached 112, I saw a dark-colored Subaru sedan at the junction with 302. I asked the female driver, who I did not identify, if she had seen a person on foot as she traveled the road. She said she had not. I continued up 112 with my spotlight on checking the roadside as I went, but did not see any evidence of foot travel on the road or on the shoulder. When I entered into Swiftwater Village, I saw a female known to me as, and this was the female that he stopped. And I asked if she had seen anyone walking. She told me she had not. She had just come from the stage shop. She further advised no one had been in the store while she was there. She told me that the store owner was closing up. I arrived on scene and spoke with Sergeant Smith. He advised he still had not found the driver. I told him I would check the surrounding roads and to see if I could find anyone. I saw a dark-colored Saturn had struck a tree on the eastern side of the corner at the weathered barn. So he's sticking with the narrative of Cecil Smith.
Yeah.
I cleared the scene and traveled Route 112 west to
That
Porter
blue
Road,
shield.
crossed the covered bridge, and
That blue wall.
spotlighted the Big Eddie parking lot, but did not see anyone nor any vehicles. I took the left onto Plains Road and traveled to Route 302. I drove 302 into Woodsville, taking the left onto Swiftwater Road. I traveled Swiftwater Road onto Goose Lane to French Pond Road. I traveled French Pond to Route 116, where I took the right, traveling 116 into Haverhill. I had my spotlight on whenever possible. I did not see anyone on foot, nor did I note any track on the road or leaving the roadway. I cleared the scene. Oh, wait, no. The date of this report is February 19th, about the night. So 10 days later, he filed the report. So it looked like he added the female smoking the cigarette and that the car stuck a tree. So doesn't tell us a whole lot, but...
It's a blue wall where they're all protecting each other. I don't trust him. It's all lies. They're killing me here. So we have to... the red truck. All right, I have a question for you. Is the red truck a red herring?
No. I don't believe it is.
Come on, that was funny, dude. Jeez.
Oh, wait a second. Also, well,
I'll ask it again.
to that point, the witness that he stopped was the one that saw the red truck. And he made no mention because she mentioned it to him, but he doesn't put that in the report. Why does he put in the report? They were stopping red trucks all night. What's going on? And then, of course, he changed it to a female smoking the cigarette. So basically, they released this document as part of like the Freedom of Information request or whatever.
Like a FOIA
and
request.
they were previously stating that it would interfere with the investigation, but clearly, a document, unless the document was doctored, but they also submitted for the 911 recordings of the Westman's calls, rejected. They will not give them the Westman's call. And of course, they won't release Butch Atwood's, like the actual audio, because they have the audio of the call. So you could hear if she said woman or man.
Yeah, but a Freedom of Information Act, unless it like endangers our troops or national security, you're supposed to release, I guess, an ongoing investigation. It's infuriating.
Also, what's weird is that Cecil Smith said, like, he used Atwood to help him search. So they both went searching. That's kind of weird, too. Just enlisted civilians.
It's strange, man.
Indeed. So, okay, so that's where we're at. And that's all the info. So, did Maura call Billy from the Lost River Campgrounds payphone? What happened? We didn't really talk about our black backpack that was found on the Overlook.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So supposedly that was turned over to authorities, and then there was...
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter anymore because everything the authorities get, they don't tell us. Like, they have the knife, but they don't tell us whose blood it was.
So, do you think she made it that far? Did someone dump the backpack there years later? Was it there the whole time? Did animals carry it over? Like, how did it get so far? Because it got pretty far. Because that's 30.7 miles from the accident site. So 45-minute drive. We didn't really discuss the proximity to the coordinates either, because that backpack is not that many miles directly south of the coordinates.
There's so many variables and so many tangents.
Look at the damn map.
Yes, I know. There's so many variables.
So the
and so many tangents.
the backpack is here.
Yes.
The coordinates are there.
Where they... Now, didn't you say there were several sets of coordinates? Because that's not the original coordinates.
Yeah, I don't know if they were that far apart, though.
So the coordinates might have been close.
Even if it's not that close, if it's somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I don't think they were, like, there.
Yeah.
I think they were all in this area. Actually, I think one of them might have been near there. But whatever. It's still along the path. And we never really say if we trusted Rick Forcier's sighting. Or did he pick her up? Did he pick up the hooded person that he said he saw? And then what happened if he did? But then why would he say he saw it? Leave no stone unturned, Rook. Come on, Rook.
Oh my god.
Leave no stone unturned. It is the symmetry of all these different sightings is interesting, isn't it?
Well, no, it
And
is
the
because
payphone- and the
because
payphone development?
it's in a line.
It's not like
it's
yeah,
like
it's
if
not
you.
This is the main road.
No,
yeah.
I know, and but it's so difficult because it would looking at that map, it would be obvious. You're like, oh, she was on the run, and look, she went from here to here to here to here to here, and then when you look,
Or even if she hitched a portion of it, it still ends up everywhere.
well, she was in a red truck, you know. Because I mean, look, if you're gonna put forward the red truck, I'm not opposed to saying that the red truck was following her, like that could have been her friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so...
But it said it was the witness... If it's the same red truck as at the stage shop, then it was a man in the truck and not her, not Kate and Sarah.
Yeah, but that goes all the way back to what you said that you didn't believe if she was running away with a new boyfriend.
Is that what you think?
No. It's impossible to come up with an idea now because there's so many variables. You've given me a million variables.
I could see how listeners of the podcast, especially the first couple episodes, they probably thought we were leaning towards her being involved with something with the FBI or something like that.
Well,
either actively or by stumbling upon something that crossed over.
Well, yeah, but again...
But how does it explain this necessarily? First of all, do you believe the backpack sighting? Because that's a black backpack. They kept going between black and blue. But she did have a black one. And here's another thing. If the people are giving fake coordinates, why are they picked? Because I believe...
Well, yeah, because that's...
I believe they got the coordinates before they knew about the backpack sighting, I believe. And that's like there.
Yeah,
now. It's so strange how this lines up. So if she makes it to the payphone, calls Billy, then who knows what happens here? And nobody knows what happens here, but then somehow her backpack gets there. It's weird. And this is really far, so it's highly doubtful she made it there. But that is where she went camping with her family multiple times. So
yeah, but that could have just been an end destination. Like she knew the area and she might have been trying to get there because who knows why she may never have gotten there, but that would explain why she's heading in that direction.
But why would she want to go to the campground in the middle of winter?
Well, is there any...
I don't believe there's anything. It's just a campground.
It's just a campground. There's no
so.
Cabins, cottages.
Oh, there might
campers.
There might be, but not in winter. I mean, they wouldn't be operating in winter.
Yeah, but it would be better. It would be a place to hide because no one's going to go
with
there.
With what food and what
we don't
heat.
We don't know what she planned. If she was planning an escape, she can't go there in the summer because there's going to be.
So what do you think happened? Did she get picked up by a guy in the red truck? Did that turn sour? And then he dumped her backpack. Like, what happened with the phone call with Billy? Billy's got a 3 to 4 minute phone call to her on Sunday, and then it goes dark for 4 days.
Well,
that needs to be rectified.
Okay, well, what if the guy in the red truck was a serial killer and he picked her up, and then Billy calls her, and the guy in the red truck says, you know, who is this? And he's like, well, I'm her boyfriend. And he's like, not anymore. What if that's who he's talking to? He's like, put her on the phone. Put her on the phone. I'll give you money. I'll give you anything. And he keeps him from hanging up for 4 minutes, you know, trying to coordinate something. I'll give you money.
What's the deal with the police?
Money.
What's the deal with the police, though? I still don't understand what the point.
Well, all right, but
this is.
If you think about it, if the police chief was driving drunk again, it might just be trying to keep him in touch with his pension. You know what I mean? Like,
didn't he lose it though because he got fired?
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if some kind of shit goes down and you're like, okay, well, it's a missing girl and we want our police chief to get his pension and we don't want him to get fired, we'll just, you know, hide some shit and, you know, tell Monahan, who's our best friend, you know, don't search over there. I mean, it's never the crime, it's the cover-up.
So this is I don't think we specified the details of Williams, but in April 2009, he wrecked his Harley when he collided with a pickup truck in Woodsville.
Red?
I don't know. Then in July 24th, a Haverhill cop spotted a car speeding on Route 10. The car tried to get away. The police officer went after him, and eventually the car pulled over on Swiftwater Road.
Oh, jeez.
The driver was Jeff Williams. He was charged with DWI and disobeying a police officer, and that was the end of his career.
Oh, my God.
The car he was driving was not his own. And supposedly the car belonged to a woman who was not his wife.
She came and took the car that he had been driving, that he had wrecked, and traded cars with him and gave her his car. And oh my God! And that was the end.
So that was Williams, and he was known to drive drunk.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this whole thing is tough.
Well,
It's
there's
tough.
just too many variables.
And Maxwell needs to stop hogging the limelight and talking all the time.
I know.
It's
Too
hard
much
to get a word.
information.
It's hard to get a word
Too
in.
much information.
Well, yeah, but that's why we're having so much trouble, because there's so many variables to run through. And every bombshell you bring, it has 4 more variables.
Yeah. Well, it's still UMass needs to be reconciled.
Oh.
That's.
I'm going back to the white slave ring, the human trafficking. That'll
So
tie
what happened
everything.
with the backpack?
And a senator.
What about the backpack?
That was the drop off. That whoever they were gonna meet. Oh my God! You know something? It's just hard because everybody's run afoul. We're
Yes.
just experiencing the same thing that everybody else did,
What do you
except they were closer.
What do you mean?
Like her father. Her father's running through all the variables, and he keeps running into the
Yeah.
unless he knows something he's not telling
Well, the
us.
police don't tell him anything. So
I
so
know.
he said the police supposedly investigated a lot of these people. They won't even
Yeah.
release. They won't even release their names. And
Well,
so
that's one of the problems, because if we had some of the evidence that the police won't give up, it would help. But then again, the father, if he had some, if
Yeah.
Renner had some,
yeah.
if Smith had some, if everybody had one more
Renner,
kernel.
once again, Renner has changed his position. He
Yeah.
believes she's deceased.
It's hard because I don't want to, because I want to think that there's an ingenious plan and it'll all come together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because there's so many variables
Well,
now.
hopefully she's alive.
If it all comes together, just hearing what really happened would be pretty crazy, because there's so much.
It
that we're
seems
looking
like
at.
something really bad happened.
Yeah.
There. And for some reason, nobody saw anything.
Well, no, everybody saw something.
Everybody saw everything.
Yeah.
What about the Marats? They said they saw the Westmans go. If they're willing to share that, but they and supposedly the trees were bare in the winter, so they would be able to see. Why would they say that the Westmans went out to the car?
You see, all right, you want to hear something terrible? If the Westmans went out and she was dead right there, either next to the car, under the car, in the car, that would be cause enough to have everybody change every story.
But the Marats, you don't think would have seen that from where they?
Well,
were?
yeah, but if they were a little too far away to see that, if the guy,
So Butch
if
knew?
Butch hit her, and then parked his bus head in because there was blood on his bumper,
and he had to clean it.
and well, when the cops came, he didn't want to have the bumper facing out,
that's
because they'd
messed
say,
up.
"Why is your bus?" And she was just laying there dead, and then the
But I
cops
believe-
came.
But the Westmans saw Butch pull up and talk to.
No, I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm
Yeah.
saying if it was as simple as she went to flag him down, he didn't see her, and he hit her, and then he panicked and parked his bus head in so that he was going to try to hide the blood, and then the cops were out, and then he
So
tried
you
to.
think the Westmans made up mundane facts about activity at the trunk, and there's still no proof she was at the site.
Well, the activity could have been Butch trying to shove her in the trunk, and then he sat in the passenger seat and smoked a cigarette.
Everybody would
And
have seen that.
Yeah, but everybody did see. I'm sure everybody saw. I'm saying if everybody saw that, and then they all
so
sat
what did
there.
the police? So what's? I don't get why the police would. The police obviously looked at Butch.
The
and
police are friends with everybody, and it's a big cover up.
But they had a lie detector.
Because do you remember?
And they actually admitted that he failed the lie detector. Why
Yeah,
would they
exactly.
Do that? Why would they do that?
Because they can't fake everything. But you remember, wasn't there a theory in the beginning that everybody knew something, that it was
Communal slang?
a communal?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it might not have been a communal slang. It might
Yeah.
just have been a communal
And so you're going with that. That's your the highest likelihood?
No, I'm saying if it was something that obvious and that there is no mystery, she was dead on the scene, and then the cops just covered it up to help all of their friends.
Where does the red truck factor in?
Well, what if they drove by and
Oh, they saw it?
and they saw it and then just drove off?
But then why did they park again and then go into the woods?
But we don't know because we don't know what's a lie and what's not at this point. You know what I mean? Like once
the PI directly interviewed the person who said they saw the truck and the driver of the truck outside of the truck in the woods.
Yeah, I know, but if it's so hard if everybody's lying and everything's
but then
a cover
that was kind of pushed to the side, though. It seems like nobody wants anybody to know about the red truck.
Yeah.
Especially with Monahan's new statement released, where he doesn't even mention that the witness that he ran into mentioned the red truck. It's like they want the red truck stricken from all records.
Well, yeah, but if the red truck is the only thing they couldn't micromanage.
Oh, if it was a passerby?
If they couldn't micromanage the red truck.
So
and
what
if... Stop the red truck. Just stop it. Just get the people out and interview them. Stop it. Just stop the red truck. Find the red truck. And the red truck's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Well, supposedly John Smith also has another witness who saw Maura in a car after the accident, so she'd be alive.
Yeah, but think about it, though. If she's dead on the scene and everybody knows it, they're like, all right, you call your friends and call in 20 suicide attempts. All right? You.
But wouldn't that make it obvious that something was weird?
Yeah, but it's obvious now that something's weird. Like, we...
Yeah, this is a rough one.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is if... All right, say she got away. Say the backpack's hers. Say that somebody ran up and went to the coordinates. Say the red truck, hit somebody. Say all of this is panning out and we're trying to figure out and it's true. Yeah. It could be just as true that she was dead on the scene and everybody's lying to throw everybody off.
Couldn't it also be just as true that she was killed in Amherst?
Yeah, well,
she was never seen outside of that ATM video.
Well, yeah,
because here's the thing, though. Why are they withholding the video? Oh, well, if they never got the other videos, isn't there some gas station security footage where she stopped to get gas? And if there is, why would they not release? That doesn't change it. You know what I'm saying? Does that change?
It's 2004, so maybe. I mean,
they have gas station footage from before that.
Yeah, I know, but it's
gas stations are like the number one place to get.
In the boonies.
The gas stations are like the number one places to get robbed in those.
Yeah, I know. It's up in the boonies.
Yeah, but they still have. They have the low res, black and white.
Yeah.
But it would show if she was with somebody.
It would. Well, just like it. Well, didn't they? Do we have all the ATM footage or no? Not all of it.
No, supposedly not, no.
Yeah, well, that would show if she was with somebody.
But not necessarily if they were waiting in the car or something.
Well, yeah, but it could.
They would know that there was depending on who it was, they would know that there was a camera.
Yeah, but why don't we have all the ATM footage?
Maybe we did, maybe.
Oh, maybe that is all of it?
We don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
Oh, man. We need one of these people. We need one.
Where's
the A-frame boys? We need to take them and hold them to the fire. I think it's time.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Mindshock podcast, True Crime. It's Bruce McGuire signing off.
This is Rook Davis
and Maxwell Powers.